watching HTS. More sports, your sports.
Our first match on Duckpin Magic today features defending champion Ken Palmer taking on Mike Steinert in what promises to be an exciting match. We'll pick up the action for you in the third frame.
And if you never heard the story before, he won 8 straight television matches to claim the crown 1 year ago. As we come back, and for him to win this year's crown, he has to better that by 1. And basically, he's a third of the way along the way towards doing that, having won his first 3. Watch out. Had a couple of shots at that as pins bounced around. Ken has been the Pro Tour high qualifier 3 times. He's got a 151 average, 236 high game, 601 high set. And when you start talking about high sets, you can't do too much in the Baltimore City area without mentioning Mike Steinert's name.
632, and there you see one of the reasons why he shoots these big scores. Nice, smooth, fluid delivery, good knee bend, good leverage, and a lot of pin action.
Right on the money with that. It's our first mark for Mike Steinert.
For the bowlers left in the ladder, one good thing about this match is one of them's gonna be gone.
One less good bowler to worry about.
Well, and as I mentioned, they are a pair of the hottest bowlers on tour right now. Both of them doing a lot of things right.
It'll be a 9 fill for Mike Steinert. He'll come back to try to pick up the 10 pin for the spare. Mike Steinert was the high qualifier in this tournament, 1269 for 8 games. And it was the second time in 3 stops up to this point in 1992 that he has been the high qualifier out of Pasadena, Maryland. Now Ken Palmer once again.
It's 168 plus he averaged for the 8 games in the qualifying round.
See that cleansing breath that he takes before he goes.
It's really to keep from passing out, Mike. I tell you, I don't think I've ever seen a bowler as close to exhaustion as Kenny was when he won his 8th and final game in his climb last year to the victory. And
nice try by Kenny there. Come up with the 3rd ball here to finish out the frame.
See if he gets this ball up over the line. We wants to. Yep, he did that one.
Good working ball, Kenny. Come on now. I don't want to rock up there, Kenny. Good working pitch.
It's a big ball for Kenny. He's 3 down. Mike's working on a count. Kenny hasn't really bowled well so far this game, and usually if he does it right, he'll do it right more than once.
There you go.
Could almost feel that one in my bones, Mike.
Beautiful strike for Ken Palmer. Watch it again.
Down, through, and out with.
That's the way a strike is designed, huh? Mike Steinert, 2 marks in a row on the 3rd and 4th frame, trying to make it 3 in a row.
Drilled that one. Drilled it. It's that little increase in the speed, the arm motion, Mike, and the ball just never really gets into the good roll that you need.
Saw Kenny Palmer's strike in the 5th frame, huh? Try to do a little bit more.
Well, you try to answer it, and you hear the phone ring, and you're trying to get to it, but. And sometimes, when you bowl like Mike bowls, sometimes you get away with it. you know, and you may throw a strike, but sooner or later you're going to stuff a couple of them through the head pin. Where we've watched so many of the heavy hits carry here at Greenway, where the pin action's been super. See, he's overthrowing the ball, Mike. He's got it out on the lane a little further than he should have it, and it's just not getting into a good roll. 61-56 through 5. Kenny with the strike. See how it's throwing? He's not getting the mix at all.
It's like a baseball pitcher.
Yep.
Bowlers, same thing. Got to get the rhythm, got to get the mechanics going and feel comfortable. And right now, up until that last strike, I could say neither bowler really felt great. Mike had a couple of good frames, knocked down 9 pins on the first ball, but let's see what happens here. Kenny Palmer striking the 5th, bowling here in the 6th on lane 62.
We know Kenny knows how to put it together. If he throws a good ball here, Mike Steinert could be chasing him. The chase is on. 65-61. Kenny takes the lead in the 5th frame. I don't know if how would we do a show without Kenny around?
Wouldn't seem the same, especially at Greenway. Every men's show we've done for the last 2 years has included him.
Yeah, he mentioned, I can remember one of the first shows when I said, you know, he's a big guy. And when I saw him the next tour, he said, what's this, I'm a big guy. I said, Kenny, well, you're a big, nice guy.
And in fact, on the sheet, you mentioned that we give the nicknames out, and that was one of the nicknames you're going to give to him. Oop, gave it back there. Let it out a little bit.
Not real pleased with that.
Yeah, came back, shook his head a little bit. Watch out. Wow. He's had 2 or 3 of those.
That's the 3rd one. We were thinking the same way, Mike.
That were, you know, just a fraction of an inch away from really being as much a demoralizing kind of a mark as an effective
That's right.
mark.
It's sort of a pick-me-upper, you know. It happened to him in the 1st and 3rd frame, then here again in the 7th. And
well, we're into the 7th frame, and I'm sure Mike Steinert is thinking that this has got to be the time to get things going. Yep, down the pipe again.
got it out on the lane, Mike. Just a little, you know, he has such good leverage that it's so easy for him to get the ball out on the lane. And we have another bowler coming up soon in, oh my. 87-74 as Mike has just a drastic 4 frame right there. Have to regroup.
Yep.
Happens to the best. Scotty Lacey has a similar style and has the strength and the leverage and what it takes. Nice ball to get a ball out on the lane, and it has to be on the lane with the friction to get into the roll.
Well, looks like he had a little conversation with himself in between the 7th and the 8th frame and answered the bell there.
I'm glad we couldn't hear it. It was,
yeah, well, it wouldn't have been a pleasant conversation.
It was an attention getter.
Yeah. So Kenny Palmer in the 8th. And he's got one right back.
Hit 3 pins, hit the 5 pin at the same time. That's how you win 11 games in a row, Mike. When a guy throws a strike, you throw one right back.
See how low he is, and look at that.
See, you hear the term, and it's so falsely used, no drive, no 5. And I really believe if you watch the better ones, very few 5 pins are hit with the ball on a strike. You want them, you let the pins do the work. The ball can only hit, maximum the ball hits 3 pins.
Well, Kenny Palmer trying to double up here in the 9th.
What Kenny wants to do is throw a good ball right now. He just wants to execute. He knows that it'll happen if he does it properly.
Watch out!
Made it happen.
Sure did.
There's his boy. He got a little high five from Blake.
Watch as the pins help out.
Both pockets, a strike in the 1-3, a strike in the 1-2. Both balls just one as impressive as the other. Mike Steinert looking for a double, stay in the match. Nope.
Overthrew a little bit. See that. Never really got his rhythm going. Got a couple of nice hits early, and then things sort of fell apart as he puts up a spare there in the 9th frame.
Still playing, Mike.
Yeah, still in the ball game, and he moves to lane 61 to bowl the 10th frame.
Actually 104 plus in the 9th, as Kenny is 107 working on a double. Kenny probably in the vicinity of 20-25 pin lead at this time. Now, that's about all you can do. He might put that one where it belongs, gives him 113. If we give him a spare, strike on 133. Kenny 27 up, counting on a double, so it's about you can almost announce Kenny's 12th consecutive win, Greenway Bowl East.
Mike Steinert will finish off here in the 10th.
Kenny said, who's next?
Well, and for Mike Steinert, disappointed, but another good tournament for him. High qualifier, made it out of the head-to-head divisional finals to the TV ladder finals, and he'll pick up quite a few Bowler of the Year points. 132 finishes it up for Mike Steinert. And here's Kenny Palmer working on a double. He may just want to load up here so they can start intimidating the guys that are coming up. Oh,
wow. Oh, you're glad you didn't need a mark. I told him not to let up when he's on a double.
Well, he does get the 8 count.
And that's enough, like 140 if he were to miss both of these pins with both balls. 133 plus this ball gives him 134, and 10 would give him 144, Mike. And wow.
It's almost hard to believe.
Well, I tell you, you can swallow and forget that 710, but if it happens at the wrong time, 144, 132, Mike.
Ken Palmer defeats Mike Steinert. They'll take on Patty Lacey when we come back after this.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to, well, to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to, well, to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to, well, to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
Doing everything but laying down.
Patty Lacey taking on Kenny Palmer as we continue to move through our 13-man ladder. Just 6 bowlers remaining from a very large field of 185. And here's Patty Lacey from Manchester, Maryland.
Nationally ranked twice. Went to Canada on the 1983 Youth World Cup team. Has set and still holds many youth records. Is a spot bowler. Won the 1986 Masters. 238 games, 574 set.
And there's another big guy.
Yeah.
Not a big guy. That's maybe why we're sitting here. We're not putting up big scores anywhere, that's for sure. So Ken Palmer walks up to the line, and he'll deliver his first ball in this match. It looks like every other one. Joe, we were remarking during our commercial break that this is probably one of the most amazing bowling feats we've seen.
It's incredible. I mean, it's I don't know how many times between last year and this year he's been on the telecast. But to do that with a head-to-head record, I mean, you know, anything over 500 head-to-head, even for the best, Kenny, Peter, Swede, is great. And his record, just what he's done over the last year. And you heard the public address announcement, and Kenny backed off and reset himself, and it just shows me how composed and how well he has this routine under control. And you would think if you do something time after time, it becomes a habit, and that's not true. You've got to do it every time. You've got to talk to yourself. You have to hear it and feel it. And this guy has been locked in. And, you know, he'd be the first to tell you that he's been also very fortunate, but I think you create that good fortune. And Kenny has, through those 12 victories, many times been nearly put away. And the guy makes a mistake and Kenny jumps on it, or the guy strikes and Kenny answers it. It's just been phenomenal.
Another mark, 2 in a row.
Makes a mistake and comes right back and makes a good shot.
So Patty Lacey will step in.
Once again, Patty has such leverage, and he's taller than Kenny.
Yep.
And if you watch, it's so easy for him to get the ball halfway down the lane in the air.
He's got that big backswing, everything very fluid.
It is fluid, and it's almost like he has to hold back so he doesn't
overthrow,
break something, you know, and it just, his ball needs, if the lane, he'd be even a better bowler if the lane were 70 feet long, because it would give this ball more time to get into the roll. There you see the 1-3-6 for a spare.
Yep, picks up the mark. His one win coming in the 1986 Masters tournament.
Duckpin Magic now moves to further action in this same match.
It's an individual sport. There are very few of us that, I guess you could say, coach. But you really, at that point, even if you had a coach, you know, you're game ready. And to say something at that point, I don't know if it would be wise. The guy guy wins 12 games in a row and throws a bad ball, I'm not going to tell him to make a correction.
Well, Kenny Palmer continues to move along here. It's in the 4th frame, looking to pick up a mark here. 2 pin.
23 pin lead and 4 marks, 4 spares in a row. I tell you, his victories over the past matches, Mike, have not been real convincing. I mean, they've just, you might run them off. You have the scores there, and it's...
Yeah, won his first match by 6, his second one by 5, his third one by 12, and this past one by 12. Watch out.
Going to get it. Nope, no pin got in the way.
Took that big loop around. It looked like it had enough momentum until the other pin jumped in front.
Even the 172-160 was a closer match than the score indicates, because Wes Hamner needed a double and broke 9 with a wiggle. Spare.
Right on the money for Patty Lacey.
7 spares out of 8 frames for the 2 bowlers. 64 plus for Ken Palmer. 50 plus Patty Lacey. 4 frames.
Shows the importance of making your spares in duckpin bowling. Strikes are nice, but you're going to be coming up with more spare break opportunities than you will strikes in the long run, and it's nice to be able to know that you can get that 1 pin or 2 pins and pick up that spare so you can add up the count.
Well, I think the thing you have to guard against, Mike, is you can't really start trying.
There's a strike.
Nice ball. Very well done.
This is shaping up to be quite a match as we hit the halfway point. 4 marks in a row for Kenny Palmer. 4 in a row for Patty Lacey after an open first.
He just blasted him out. Real good ball. And he got it on the, if you notice. See, it's so Patty can get it on the lane sooner, but then he winds up sort of guiding it. He backs off on it with the speed. So it's a very tough adjustment for him.
Push through the middle.
Well, you see what this 3 spares and a strike.
I've seen it numerous times where the bowler will jump up and do something good and puts the pressure on the opponent.
That's a 2-frame format, Mike, causes that in the head-to-head match. When it, you know, you're going along. I mean, Kenny had 4 marks in a row, and Patty jumps up and goes spare strike, and all of a sudden you realize you have an opponent. Shooting for 10, 2-4-7. Hold that, 77 to 70 plus, and we have a match, Mike.
Sure do.
6 frame coming up for Kenny.
Winner here will face off against Bob Dietzel of North Scituate, Rhode Island, coming up. And of course, the winner of today's show goes on to join our Final 4 show next week, and you'll be able to see us give away over $6,000 to those folks.
Down again. Back. Yep. Yeah, you might run down the bowlers on the ladder as you watch Kenny throw the strike once again as the 5-pin disappears.
Well, Bob Dietzel is our number 4 seed. He is awaiting the winner of this match. Then next week it's number 3 seed Bill Honeycutt, number 2 Eddie Darling. Watch out. And the top seed, a man waiting for somebody to come along, is another Kenny. It's Kenny Harrell. So
pretty strong ladder.
Yep. All experienced bowlers. Kenny Harrell doesn't have a Pro Tour win, or does Bob Dietzel, but Bill Honeycutt and Eddie Darling do.
Patty, a tough break there. Actually, a good break to break the 8, missing the head pin, but then picked the head pin off the spare break. 88, 87. Kenny Palmer with a strike, and down 1 pin as Patty Lacey readies himself for frame number 7.
I'll tell you, look back at that last match with Ken Palmer and Mike Steinert, and that 4 frame that Mike Steinert had was very big in that match.
Turnaround frame, and it happened as Kenny cut a deuce and got 10 out, and there you see the strike. Strong ball.
Yep. Patty had pins flying all over the place, and then tilted out.
That's when
the last 2.
You'll see the shot again as you recall that he picked a 2-pinner, and he did drive the 5 out with the ball that time.
Yeah, the 5 was nowhere to be seen.
Big ball for Kenny. We know that he knows what to do when he has a strike. Looking for a double. Kind of sidearmed that ball a little bit.
Put it on the floor a little early. Hear it hit early.
Had his hand on the outside the ball, Mike, and they got a lot of names for it. It's sort of like the flying elbow and roundhousing it, but just didn't quite stay under it long enough. But he got away with it. He had his 1-2-4 spare break.
Down the nose. Well, I tell you, how many times have we said that? Where he's done something with the first ball or the second ball or in one frame and then comes back in the next frame and corrects it immediately.
Well, his concentration is so good, Mike, that he has that ability to leave that, forget that ball. It's over with, and you handle the situation at hand. And so many of us are on our way up to shoot that spare, and we're taking that first ball with us. And, oh, my. Oh, my. Weak on the left pocket. And I tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me to watch Kenny make this. He's got the 3, 5, 6, 9, and 10 on the right. And you just forget the 7's over. You know that it's over there.
Just hope something finds its way there to knock it down, huh?
4 count, 111 in the 7th to 98 plus for Patty Lacy. Working on a strike as Kenny shoots this mess. Oh.
Well, that was close.
A lot closer than the results.
.120 after 8 for Ken Palmer, and this is a big, big frame for Patty Lacy. He's got the strike in the 7th, then he steps in the 8th frame with an opportunity to change things around in this match. See the concentration. Let's watch the ball.
There's a good shot. Good.
Push through the middle. Well, let's get another ball coming up to help add to the count.
We all know about Kenny's offense, but I'm trying to figure out this defense that he has. I mean, he just it's amazing. Look at this shot.
Wow,
3
what a
trips
great
and
shot that
never
was.
caught it. Kenny's going to take a lead into the 9th frame. Patty hits this, it'll be 120, 117. The middle really has hurt Patty. He let's see, he had the 3 count. No, 2 count. I'm sorry, that was the side. He hit the side, but he has been through the middle on both strikes. Had a strike in the 5th and a strike in the 7th, and
3-pin advantage for Ken Palmer after 8 frames. You see Kenny sort of shake his head saying, okay, well, I got the lead. I didn't throw real smart there. We'll see what happens coming back.
Quick 9 as the number 10 stands, and I think Kenny's just kind of drifting back into his own little routine. Sort of, I think you even have to practice the routine while you're sitting there. Just stay focused on your game, and you pay too much attention to the other guy, and you're going to see all the good luck and none of the bad luck, and I think you become a defensive player. And Kenny certainly, over the performances that we've watched him, is not a defensive player.
Nope. Big mark by Patty Lacy there in the 9th frame. And in steps Kenny Palmer. He'll bowl 9 and 10 first, so he's going to be looking to make something happen here. Nope.
Come on, Kenny, give me a shot now. Take up for you, Walter. Come on now. Come on, Kenny, take a ball.
Under those situations, I would say that's about as bad as we've seen Kenny throw a ball this late in the game in a must situation, but he still has the opportunity to make the spare. 1-3-7. Caught it a little thin.
Yep. Slid it in front of the 7-pin, and so he'll have to roll the 3rd ball here to pick up the 10. It'll stay a 3-pin difference, although Patty Lacy will have the mark to fill and probably will take the lead there. Well, actually, it's a
2-pin.
2-pin lead.
Well, I'll tell you, this is what I like about finishing first, bowling the 9th and 10th. If he can still put Patty on a mark if he goes 19, spare 9. So you see Patty, and you can sit there and try not to watch, but it's a tough thing to do.
Let's see what happens here as Kenny Palmer looking to stretch his win streak in this particular tournament to 5, 13 over 2 years.
There it is.
Look at that strike. There's another example. We saw him not throw the ball well in frame number 9. He comes back, throws picture-perfect strike in frame 10.
Well, if you look at his game, the key over the weeks and years is that very seldom does he open 2 frames. He opened in the 5th, then he did open 2 frames in the 8th and 9th, but then, bang, he's right back. And would it surprise you if he threw a double?
I don't know.
I don't think it surprised anybody. Matter of fact, Patty's finally expecting it.
Again, the routine. See the breath?
So you call that soothing breath. Not this time.
No.
Every stick, Kenny.
But he'll be looking to pick up as many pins as possible here.
He needs a couple to put, he needs 2 of them to put Patty on a mark. You can almost take 2 of them to the bank. I'm betting he has all of them.
Oh, well, we got to 2.
I lost another bet. 147.
So Ken Palmer has posted his score, and it's up to Patty Lacy now to beat that score. If you're Kenny Palmer sitting on the bench, you got to hope for the good defense, because Patty has shown some signs that he can be explosive here in this match. Ooh.
Almost.
It was almost a tough situation for Patty.
He's got to have
Good situation as he
can't win without it, Mike. 10 gives him 146 on a 1-pin loss. If he hits it 2-1, gives him a win. We'll watch.
Right. This is the match. Patty Lacy, Ken Palmer. Got it.
Bullseye. Good execution.
I'm impressed with Patty Lacy in this match. A couple of times he could have
hung in there. Could have
packed his
folded
tent.
it up. Yep. 7 marks apiece.
That's it. Way to finish. That is the game and the match. 156-147. Patty Lacy has beaten Ken Palmer, and we'll have Patty Lacy meeting Bob Dietzel coming up right after this.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duck pin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to, well, to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duck pin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to, well, to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
Big match for Bob Dietzel and Patty Lacey. Patty, of course, off the big win over Ken Palmer. And the winner here advances to our Final 4 show next week. And you can't win the championship unless you're on that show.
Exactly right. Patty with a Pro Tour victory
And a
some
strike.
years back. Starts this game rather convincingly.
He's bowling well. He knocks off Ken Palmer.
Something no one has done for a long time.
Ooh. Finally, the 9-pin tumbles over. First look at Bob Dietzel. Bob out of North Scituate, Rhode Island.
System consultant for AT&T, and
Look at that strike right back, huh?
the 2 300 games going, Mike.
His wife Sean, daughter Barbara, son Mike, and grandson MJ.
I'm going out on the limb. Anybody breaks the world record, I'm gonna give them $10. 279. Anybody
pretty-
beats that on TV,
pretty
can I
sturdy.
borrow 5?
Pretty sturdy limb you went out on. Although our director, Pete Tomlinson, he probably could conjure up a saw for you.
No, and
Take
Pete,
it
he'd
off the
probably
back.
tell me what limb to get on because it's already half cut. 9 for Bob as he leaves the number 4. I tell you, Bob does well. He's only been on tour for 6 years, and he's been 2nd at Barnum, 3rd at Barnum, and 3rd at Wamiset. And
He qualifies quite often, yeah.
yes, he does. He's a good bowler.
Right on the nose with that one. He's got strike spare to start off the match.
Very confident, solid performer is Bob Dietzel, and I think you're going to have to beat him. Right? He's not going to give you anything, and he's not going to pack his suitcase early.
Patty is employed by Estes Express in Baltimore. Give them a little bit of a plug, right?
Why not?
Talk about his numbers. 140 on average, high game of 238, high series of 574.
Patty, over the last 2 or 3 years, has really battled the, what would you say, like the consistency. He just is not throwing the ball the same speed, or had not been. I think he looks to me like he's coming around, and it's sort of out on the lanes 20 feet, out on the lanes 10 feet, throw the ball, let's say 20 mile an hour to 30, you know, that range. And that's a very difficult thing to control when you have the leverage and all that Patty has. And it's been, you know, a frustrating few years for Patty, and I for one, would like to see him come around and just do what he has the ability to do, and that's knock down a lot of pins. The wins will come if you start putting the ball in the right place enough times.
Well,
Nice shot.
nice shot is right. In a fine tournament like he's had, might be all he needed to turn him around and give him that confidence that we've seen bowlers need to get to the next level.
Well, that's exactly what Patty's lacking. He has not lost any ability, the God-given ability. He's not lost the desire. He's just been beat down a little bit.
Bob Dietzel. Look at that strike.
Solid performer here, too. I tell you, he's very basic game if you watch Bob.
Bob bowled well. He had over 1190 for his qualifying score. As you see the final spot at the foul line where he delivers the ball. First time he's qualified for the 1992 season, but he has been in and amongst the qualifying often, as evidenced by his second and third place finishes.
Kind of one of those quiet guys that just, for some reason, keeps showing up on Sunday.
Yep.
And the only way you really show up on Sunday is if you knock enough pins down on Saturday, in which he apparently has been doing.
He's got a high game of 237 and a high series of 553, along with an average of 147. And he went 4-1 in the head-to-head. In fact, the only game that he lost, his opponent threw a 173 at him. He had a 167. Also knocked off Peter Pierce, Larry Ailey, and Mitch Lewinsky on the way to his 4-1 record. That was in the semifinal head-to-head competition. Oop, through the middle again. That's the only thing that we've seen that Patty has done wrong, is going through the middle, and that really isn't wrong. It's just a little bit unfortunate.
Tough luck and just
luck. Yep.
just a tad lacking in the confidence, and you stuff the ball, and he has that ability to be that accurate. You know, it's a well-thrown ball, and it's just a tag. I mean, there's 10
Nice
on a
10
nice
there.
10.
Yep.
We'll circle that frame, because I think that may play a part in this game before it's over. Three bowlers waiting in the wings. Bill Honeycutt, Eddie Darling, and Kenny Harrell.
Winner here advances to next week's show.
Good ball. '86 Masters victory for Patty Lacey.
Slid by the right side. Picks it up for another 10 bucks. And Bob Dietzel will step in, bowling the fifth frame. We're at the Greenway Bowl East in Baltimore, Maryland. World's largest duckpin bowling center, 68 lanes strong, and we're finishing up an elimination process which started with 185 of the member bowlers of the Duckpin Professional Bowlers Association.
A house that has been a long-time supporter of the Pro Tour, Mike, and I know that all the Pro Tour members really appreciate what takes place here at Greenway East. To be able to get, it just creates an atmosphere that, other than T-Bowl with 48 lanes in Newington, Connecticut, is an atmosphere that just, you don't have the opportunity to create the atmosphere that this place can by putting all the good bowlers in the center at one time.
Bob Dietzel picks up 10.
27-pin lead, Mike. 87-60 through 5 frames with Bob Dietzel. 27 pins. Frame 6 for Bob.
Patty Lacey looking at the scoreboard to figure out what's happening in the match.
185 bowlers.
Yep.
Is that what you mentioned? Started.
There's
There it
another
is.
strike for Bob Dietzel.
I think Bob was ready to pack his bags Saturday at the end of his qualifying. We sort of tend to think 1,200, 150 average for the 8-game qualifying, and Bob was a little under that with 1187. And I said, Bob, don't pack your bags. I'm not too sure. And sure enough, it got him this far.
Well, Patty missed a single the last time. Let's see if he can come back and pick it up here at 10 pin this time. Nope. Overthrew it a little bit that time.
Twice in a row.
Yep. 69 after 6.
Gotta just get himself back together, forget what his opponent has, and then bowl the last 4 frames the best way you know how. You go 20, 40, 60, 80, all of a sudden you have 149, and it's not over yet. Patty, a spot bowler, as you can see, he really locks his eyes in.
There's a strike. Beautiful.
If that were a triple, he wouldn't have missed the 2 singles, right? But with his talent, he knows more than you and I or anyone else watching that it should be 2 spares. It could have been strikes, but it should have been spares.
So Bob Dietzel, who does have a strike in the last frame, looking to make it a double here in the 7th.
So very close to a double. Been spun behind the 5, taking out the 9, and pretty convincing lead at this point. Some 37 or 8 pins.
Bob looking to pick up the 5 pin here for the mark. He's got it. .107.69. Both bowlers have marks in the 7th. A strike for Patty Lacey, a spare for Bob Dietzel.
See Patty sort of looking at the situation as he glances up at the scoreboard. And drove that one through. 3, 6, 10 on the right with the 4 on the left, and 7, 6 on. 123, 79 plus for Patty. But Patty's mark is a strike, and it gives you the opportunity to throw the double or triple. Nice try.
Finish up with either 132 or 133 here. We'll have Bob Dietzel in the 8th. So he covers it, and Patty Lacey will step in. He'll try to put a couple of strikes together for a double here as he's looking to climb back in the match. And basically, Joe, he does need the double to get back in the match.
He sure does. He sure does. He's 30-some pins down, and just not enough frames left to catch up with spares. Doesn't want to let this opportunity get away. Let's see if he executes. See, it's such a fine line. I mean, that was a good ball, and it's a tough adjustment for him to make, but he drove it through. Just unfortunately, he's so big and strong that's a natural pitch. And 36 pins behind, Mike, with 2 frames to go, as Patty will move over and bowl frame 9.
He's going to have to put up a mark and hope that Bob Dietzel does a mark, because he'll be shut out by the time the 10th frame comes around.
He sure will. Matter of fact, if Patty were to catch 4 strikes in a row, it would give him 156, and Bob would need 1 mark in the last 2 frames. If he doesn't strike here, then the best he can do is 46, and Bob's in pretty easy to accomplish, to get to 146 when you're 133. with 2 frames to go. Patty didn't strike, has the 4-7 remaining. Made it.
Except the 10.
106 plus, and as we mentioned, the very best he can do is 146, and you wouldn't even be going out on a limb to say that Bob Dietzel will be back.
So Bob will finish up here in the 9th frame. And the 10th frame, he'll finish the match first, and we'll work on our final score.
1-3-6-10. Spare break. Run it right down the right side.
Bob Dietzel will be facing off against Bill Honeycutt, the winner there, facing Eddie Darling in the semifinals, and Kenny Harrell awaiting a challenger for that top spot. Nice spare for Bob Dietzel.
One more ball, Mike, and this game will be history.
Well, for Patty Lacy, though, it should be a good learning experience and a confidence builder. He shouldn't look at the negative side of the experience, but the positive side. He knocked off a bowler who had been pretty much unbeatable before this, and worked his way to a point where he'll finish no worse than 5th in the tournament, which
beat
is
180
outstanding.
bowlers, Mike. Yep. We got a winner. Bob Dietzel's going to go into the 150s, and Patty cannot make it to that point.
Okay, so Bob Dietzel, winner here on Duckpin Magic. He finishes up. It's 9 in the box. 154 for Bob Dietzel, and he wins it. We'll be back to wrap things up here from the Greenway Bowl right after this.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
It's exciting, it's entertaining, it's challenging, it's fun. It's Duckpin Magic. Duckpin bowling is lots of fun for the whole family. There's no need to be an expert. Duckpin bowling is easy to learn, but it's the challenge that'll keep you coming back. Even little hands can control the ball in duckpin bowling. Join a league or we'll help you start one. And with duckpin bowling, there's more bowling for your buck. Discover duckpin bowling and you'll discover Duckpin Magic at any of these locations.
Hello, we'd like to clear up some misconceptions about duckpin bowling at Fairlanes. This is a duck. This is a duck pin. Note the absence of webbed feet. This is a flock of ducks. This is a flock of duck pins. The object of duck pins is to hurl 3 balls, bang, 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 and knock them all down. Exhilarating. The object of ducks is to be ducks. Now you may proceed to Fairlanes. We're quite sure you'll find duck pinning everything it's quacked up to be. Sorry.
back here at the Greenway Bowl East in Baltimore, Maryland. We've got the Pro Tour continuing, and next week it's the Final Four.
Mike, when we come back next week, we'll have 3 bowlers taking a shot at top seed Kenny Harrell.
All right. Join us for that. For Joe Rynair, I'm Mike Sellis. See you again next time on Duckpin Magic.
Get on the fast track with the best in racing. NASCAR, Indy, NHRA, World Grand Prix, EMA Superbike, Motocross, USAC, Winston Cup, SCCA, Modified, Worlds of Outlaws, Formula One, highlight, preview, and review shows. All this and more on the fast track to excitement.
Right here on HTS. O's keys to victory against the A's.
McGuire and Steinbach are threats. Deal with them accordingly.
O's A's, Monday night at 7:30 on HTS.
It's the toughest game on 2 feet as the Madmen from down under make their mark, battling head-to-head, staking their claim as kings of the continent. Australian rules football.
Fridays at 4 on HTS.
Get ready for the experience of a lifetime when All-Star Fan Fest, a magical baseball theme park, comes to Baltimore this July for All-Star Week. From free autograph sessions with more than 100 superstars to amazing video batting cages, Fan Fest guarantees hours of excitement for fans of all ages. For a sneak preview, visit the All-Star Week Preview Center, now open next to Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Tickets for Fan Fest are now on sale at any Oriole ticket outlet or call Ticketmaster phone charge.
HTS presents Major League Baseball. Today from Camden Yards, it's the Rolling Rock Orioles Report. Rolling Rock Orioles Report is being brought to you by Rolling Rock Premium.